Day 4 action finished. NBL at NBA Summer League action here in Vegas. Olgun joining me once again. We may as well start with the first game of the day, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Luke Travers in action. That Cavs team looks really good. And we talk about Summer League. We know you can win this Summer League this week. His Cavs team, they're playing well, and he's playing pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting. No one's really trying to win the Summer League, right? Everyone's here just to see guys develop, see indicators of players. But this Cavs team is looking really good. Haven't lost a game yet. And Luke Travers is showing exactly what the Cleveland Cavaliers want to see, which is him being a glue guy, him being a connector. Again, it's not the thing that's going to jump off the page as far as a ton of scoring or a ton of rebounds or a ton of assists, but it's the winning players, and I think that's what the Cavs want to see, and I think Melbourne United likes to see that too.
Well, speaking of Melbourne United, we know he's there on a 3-year deal. Nick Trulson has made his way to Vegas. Originally was planned as a family holiday, and we know he was over in Europe. That plans may have changed a little bit with what happened with Joe Luala-Chul.
So Trulson arrived last night. I saw him check in to his hotel. And yeah, there's the news about Joe Luala-Chul sort of didn't come out of nowhere. There was always a lingering wrist injury that he had, but his wrist injury has him out for 4 to 5 months. And so as much as this was a trip just for Nick Trulson to come in, shake hands, kiss some babies, now he's got to start recruiting. He's got to speak to decision makers, speak to agents and things like that. They need to find an injury replacement for him while they're looking still for that import 2-3 that they're looking for. So it was supposed to be a little holiday, but now it's turned into a work trip.
We caught up with Nick Trulson as well, so hopefully we can get a bit more out of him at the end of the week. Move on to the Phoenix Suns. We were hoping to see Keanu Pinder in action, and we may as well start with that. Doesn't look good with his back injury. We tried to have a little chat with him, and hopefully he's going to be good by the end of the week, but to be honest, probably can't see that happening.
It's looking tough. I saw Keanu last night, said the back wasn't feeling great. He's hopeful that he'd maybe get the last 2 or 3 games. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It seems like he's still struggling with what's going on there.
Teammate for this week for the Phoenix Suns, Barry Brown Jr., ex-New Zealand breaker. Look, out of everyone looking really comfortable on the NBA floor, he's right up. They had 14 points. They got a win by 3 points. He hit the clutch free throw. Tried to miss it, ended up banking it. I've spoke to a couple of teams. I think we keep floating his name out there. The words were that he's out of their budget, but he's playing really good, and so much so that I had to interview him after he had a chat with Frank Vogel from the Phoenix Suns. Yeah,
Barry Brown Jr. is a guy who, again, we know what he can do. He's showing that scoring prowess here at the Summer League too. He's someone who I think all the teams that were looking for import 1s and 2s or that sort of combo guard, they saw him, but yeah, it doesn't seem like he's a guy that's going to be back in the league. And like you said, it could be somewhere a bit higher than the NBL.
Move on to that next game, and it was the Indiana Pacers versus the Orlando Magic. And Kai Sotto, he's on the bench for the Magic. I'm hopeful to see him at some point this week. Thomas and Max Center wanted to see him. There was a few chances for Kai Sotto. And when I say a few, double-digit chance to get him on the floor. But Mojave King for the Pacers showed some flashes of what we're expecting.
He looked really comfortable out there, and he hasn't got many minutes. The Pacers, for some reason, continue to play like legitimate rotation guys, right? So Mojave King hasn't got many minutes, but he hit the floor in the third quarter, hit a three-pointer in the corner. He's looking really good. Defensively, he looks good. He looks like an NBA player, which is what we know. He's 6'5", long, athletic. So I'm hopeful that we see a bit more of him as this tournament comes to an end. But yeah, he's someone who I think the Pacers like, and I'm surprised he's not playing more.
Yeah, I think we might hopefully see that next couple of games. You mentioned the main guys, Nembhard and Benedict Mathurin. They're on the floor for nearly 35 minutes. Maybe they get shut down sooner rather than later. And lastly, the Timberwolves in action. Sam Wardenberg not playing once again with a knee injury. I spoke to him, said he's feeling better. He's hopeful for maybe the next game. If not, then definitely the last game. But Jaylin Galloway, we saw him hit the floor. He got on the score sheet and he managed to get a block. And I'm really excited for his future. And you've been reporting on him where he is draft eligibility-wise and what he missed out on. But his game seems probably one of the best to translate to a Summer League and NBA environment.
I mean, when we look at Mojave King, I think it's almost a similar story. A wing with good size, athleticism, all the tools are there. It's just about refining those tools and then putting all of those tools together. It's good to see him out there, good to see him contributing and making an impact right away. Hopefully we see him on the floor a bit more, and hopefully we see Wardenberg. I saw he had a wrap around his left knee. Hopefully we see him more too.
Day 4, that's the wrap side of things. Olgun, I can't let you go without a bit of news. We've got to be getting closer to a name or something dropping.
Yeah, we don't have any names yet. Teams have sort of still been scouring what's going on in here. But what I do know is that the Brisbane Bullets met with a few guys yesterday. They had some meetings. Stu Lash was in town. He left today. I'm told that there is a top 3 when it comes to finding that import wing. I feel like there'll be a decision sooner than later on who that's going to be. But the Bullets are narrowing down their candidates for who they're going to fill their final roster spot with. And the other one is that there are whispers that there are contracts being finalized, marquee level guys, imports. There's a feel that there may be some stuff going down tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Well, looking forward to that. I got given a name, I mentioned this before, but Travion Williams out of the Purdue. That name's been floated around a couple of times. He's out of the budget of certain teams. I'm not sure whether that sticks, but I want to throw it out there just in case something happens and I can look back on this and say that I know about it. Day 5 tomorrow. Quite a day today, but we got some exciting action on the floor. Barry Brown Jr. versus Dyson Daniels. I'm looking forward to that game. Do or breathe. We had a little bit of a whisper about him, but he looks really good. He's going to be in action with Ryan Repair versus Justin Robertson. And Xavier Cooks, we're going to see him tomorrow.
Looks like we will see him tomorrow. I'm excited for that Barry Brown Jr., Dyson Daniels matchup. They're two guys that play super prominently, two primary guards on those teams. I want to see those two match up against each other. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. We spoke to Greg Vanderjet, who's the assistant coach right now for the Pelicans, and he is all about the Pelicans and how they are really buying into this Dyson Daniels, which is what we love to see. We're going to be back tomorrow, hopefully with some names, but if not, there's going to be plenty of basketball action, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you then.